And we are live. All right. What's good, y'all? StrawHatYomo here. And we got
It's your boy Dcentos, back in the building. I'm back like I never left. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
there you go. And we're talking about To Your Eternity. An anime that has been hitting the streets pretty hard. And yeah, to me, I find it pretty good. I like the anime. You guys can see on the screen. You might not be able to see that, but it's ranked 90 out of all the anime out there.
It
And it has a
is.
score of 8.54. And I think it's justified. But we don't know if everyone thinks that. So yeah,
Ooh,
go ahead
two
and tell
year two
them.
year eternity. Oh
Oh,
my
I see
gosh.
that face. That face right there. That face right
Two
there.
2 year eternity.
I guess I should already like explain the
Yeah,
premise of it.
explain this show because I'll say this, you know what? Because coming into this season, this man Yomo was like, he's like, hey yo, like this show right here, it's the one. It's the one. He's because you said you read the manga, right?
I did. I did read the manga.
So I mean, you might as well talk about it and kind of say what you got to say about it.
Okay, so this show, if you guys have seen A Silent Voice, it is made by the same author. So expect a lot of tears, a lot of sad moments, basically.
Mm.
And so start off what the show is about. You have this creation, this like orb-like creation that descends on Earth that's made by a mysterious black figure, basically. And this orb it has the ability to take the appearance of living things of or not even non-living things as well too. So like the orb starts off like it comes to Earth, it starts off as like a rock, I believe, and then like it slowly transforms into like a wolf and things like that too. But the catch about it is that it can turn into these things after like it can turn on to these living things after the living being has passed away. So it turned into a wolf after the wolf has passed away, but the thing has to pass away before it can turn into these things. And so the character is now trying to find its purpose in life and what he is supposed to do in life, basically. That is the premise of the entire show. So
Uh,
go ahead and tell them, I guess,
uh,
why you do not like this show.
I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but here's the thing. I'm looking at this score right here, and y'all can see this on screen. So what does it say? 8.54.
8 point. Okay.
So when I see a score that high, I'm thinking like Fruits Basket season 3. I'm thinking like, oh, it's about to be crazy. Like this is some new revolutionary thing I haven't seen before. And if we scroll down here, I'm scrolling down this page. I'm trying to figure out what genre is this. Tell me.
Let me see what it has.
Adventure,
Adventure.
drama,
Yep.
shonen, supernatural. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, okay, all right. Let's see what it's about. And as you said, it's like split up into arcs. The best way I can describe it, imagine you take a child, and you put this child in different situations, and each time you put this child in a situation or each arc, the child grows and the child learns more about how to be a human. That's essentially what this show is about. How can I make something that's nothing, and kind of make it human? So there's the first arc with March. I think they're like, is he like, I don't want to say like Native Americans, but they're basically
Yeah,
being they're
yeah,
basically being colonized. They're being colonized.
yeah.
There's that arc with that. What's the second arc? He lives in
The house
with the
the
old man.
alcohol maker.
Yeah, yeah, and then he meets Goo Goo, and there's that whole arc, and then there's another arc where he's on a prison island. So I mean, like I don't need to go into detail exactly what's going on, but I'll start off by saying some positives about the show. I think do I have any positives? Let me not start with story
Oh
because
snap!
because the story
Oh
story is my main
snap! We
critique.
started negative.
I'm
We
trying to
started
keep it
negative.
positive. I'm trying to keep it positive. Okay. Animation. Nah, that's not positive. Sound design.
Okay, I'll give you that.
What's Can you give me something positive about this show, please? Because I'm struggling.
Bruh,
That
I
that,
do
that
admit the animation isn't there. I'm
hmm
looking at the studio. It's called Brain Base, and they've made like Bakano, Durara.
Okay.
I'm trying to see other shows that I know. I think maybe Spice Wolf as well too. So
Hmm.
that's the kind of animation team that we're dealing with. So animation, I do admit it's all right. It's not the best, to be honest. I'm not gonna hold you on that. Sound design is not bad either. It's not bad,
Hmm.
but it's not amazing. Story is what got me. I think maybe because I was reading the mangas that it captured me a lot.
Hmm.
I just think that it's pretty unique that we get to see the character's growth throughout his entire journey. That's what I
Hmm.
find unique about it. And
Okay.
also we have a villain in the show, kind of, If
Okay.
you well, I guess you're not up to date, but there is a little bit of a villain. And so we get to
Yeah.
see how he's able to overcome and try to beat that villain. So
Right.
that's what I enjoy. But for me, the main thing is the story. I mean, is the character and the interactions that this main character is having with the certain characters as well too. And I find it very interesting that we're seeing him develop into a human.
Okay.
That is the thing that I like about this character. That we're learning for him to see emotions, how to like speak, how to interact with people. It's
Hmm.
taking someone from literally nothing to something. That's what I find very interesting about the show.
Okay, so if I can draw a comparison, this is actually very similar to, I guess, what the show we were just talking about previously, Vivi, and I always like to draw comparisons to Violet Evergarden, and these shows all have the same general premise. You have a starting point. In Evergarden, it's how do I love people? In Vivi, how can I sing with all my heart? In this show, how do I become human? You have this start. You have this starting point, and essentially the job is to go through these various arcs to develop someone's character. And I said how I felt about
Okay.
Vivi, and I feel like this show you does a worse job than Vivi trying to display I guess how to become human. So I mean, and let me see, where should I start? I think you know I, I think the characters are somewhat interesting. I mean, they all get their own little arcs. I think the second arc that I've seen is probably the strongest. To me, the first arc is it's not including the one, but when they're with when he's with March with the Native Americans. You see March basically serves as a parent figure for Fushi, and it's like the best way I can describe how I feel about this show. Things are happening and the character's developing, but I don't think it's great writing by any means. I don't think there's anything impactful or anything crazy going on, or any type of emotion that's really coming out of me. I think with the first arc, to me, I think it might have been too short, which is why I didn't really feel anything when we see March eventually pass. I mean, we do understand that's like a father figure for Fushi or a mother figure for Fushi. Um,
I
I mean,
guess.
it
I
is cool to see
guess.
that Pioran teaches Fushi how to speak. Like that's cool. Uh, but it's not, I don't it's hard to describe. Like to me it's not great writing. It's I don't know, there's nothing captivating me to the show. It's like I'm watching the show and I don't feel like I really don't feel inclined to keep on to continue watching it. I really just continue to watch it just to sake, just so we could talk about and do this review. But otherwise, like I to me it was boring. Did you not feel that at all? Did you feel captivated?
I'm not gonna. I I feel I'm not gonna hold you on that. When it came to like reading the manga, I felt a lot more captivated than like watching anime. I do admit that. And that's one thing I was wondering, like, why am I not feeling that captivated when watching the anime? And I think the fact that I already know what's gonna happen plays a big role because I
Mhm.
don't just do this with this show. Like other
Mhm.
shows, like My Hero, other shows that I've already read the manga all the way and I'm caught up. And so when I'm watching the
Yeah.
anime, I'm like, well, I'm on my phone, I'm not really paying that much attention to it.
Mhm.
So this show kind of falls into it. I can't blame it on if it's just the anime's fault or if it's just that I've already read it before, so I already know what's gonna happen.
Mm.
But I do admit it does seem like the animation, the storytelling is just kind of lackluster when it comes to the anime itself. But when it comes to the manga, I think for me, I was very captivated with it. Where I was like, I would stay up all the way
Mm-hmm.
to like 3 a.m. just reading it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I've been thinking. I think this may be my problem with the show. Each arc he's supposed to, gain some type of, understanding to become closer and closer to a human. And I think the first arc did a very poor job of that. Like I don't really understand what it was supposed to teach with March, and there's that like what was the goal? What are you supposed to teach, and what are you supposed to really take away from that first arc? Because to me, it was just like I guess it served as an introduction, but to me, it was very weak. And the
wait, for the
show,
first part?
yeah, with March, I thought it was very weak. I thought you know
Uh,
it's
I don't
I don't
know
know.
about that. I thought it had a pretty good connection, to be honest.
To me, the best part was with was the second one with Gugu, and when he eventually passed. But just because I felt like there was a strong, maybe it's because there was more episodes, but I felt like there was a stronger connection between those two, and I think at that point he really understood what death meant. And we're starting to see this with this third arc as well. Like it's a very linear path, and I think and that's kind of my problem. Kind of another issue. It's a little bit too linear. Obviously, the way the show is
Okay.
going, someone's gonna die in every single event, and that's gonna help him grow. But to me, I don't like that linearity in shows. To me, that's kind of whack. Like
I
someone's
I
gonna
would
die.
ha- I would have to combat that as it does switch it up like later on in the show. It does
Okay.
switch up the premise and like how it's done because it is very predictable. Like, all right, I can tell that this person's gonna die or this person's gonna die. Every time he meets with a new group, it's like, all right, this
Yeah.
person's gonna die, is gonna take their body, So like I do admit that, but
Hmm.
the creator does switch it up like later down the road. But like
Okay.
with what you're watching right now or what this anime is gonna cover, I think it's only gonna be how many episodes is gonna be? 20
20.
episodes.
That's like two left.
Okay, just two left. So with what this anime is gonna cover, it is still gonna have that same linear aspect. I'm not gonna
Okay.
spoil it, but if you guys are caught up, you guys can tell what's gonna happen next. So
Now, and I think you know, and I brought this point up with Vivi, and I said I don't like when shows put in action into a show that doesn't deserve it, and I feel like this show does not deserve action or fighting or any fighting sequences at all. And I mean, it to me, the knockers who are the main villain
yeah.
shouldn't even be in the show, because to me it puts this unnatural supernatural element into the show when that's not even needed to progress his character as a human. You know what I'm saying? Because right
Well,
now
you
we
don't know what the knocker's goal is, though.
right, yeah, but we don't know. But for right now, it's like, what's the point? To me, it would be better, if all the enemies were just human enemies. Not the supernatural element, because that to me, that's kind of throwing me off. It's like, all right, one end we're getting this adventure slice of life, trying to grow show, and the next thing you know, we got this battle manga, and he's fighting knockers, and it's supernatural, and he's trying to. I'm like, to me, these elements, they don't really mix that well, and to me, it's putting me off. So that's why I don't know. That's why I don't really like it. Like, maybe it was just more about human conflict. Maybe it's just humans fighting humans. I think I would be more appreciative of the conflict, or just take it out. Just take it out entirely. Just take it out entirely. Like, you don't need to have battles and have wars and have conflicts that involve physical action to develop a human character. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
I I do get that. I definitely do understand that because there's one aspect of where like the supernatural, at least the knocker part, kind of like takes out from that realism of the show, but at the same
Mhm.
time, it's a supernatural show. So like how like it's not it can't be
It's
that real,
it to me.
it has to
If you're
be
gonna
based off fiction.
to me, if you're gonna be supernatural, I think you should go full force. To me, everybody should have powers. All right, this man got powers. everybody have powers. Maybe he's the only one that's immortal, but to me, everybody should have powers. And to me, that would balance it out and make it more normal. Because right now, it's just like what do you want to be? It seems like you don't know what you want to be, and that's my problem with the show.
Uh, I guess when it comes to like, I don't know if everyone should have powers, but I do understand where you're coming from, though. I do understand that. So, uh, I mean, the show isn't bad per se, but I do admit like the animation, it needs to be better. Sound design, I'm not a big sound design person, so it doesn't really matter to me. Um, Storytelling, I do admit the first part with March was a little bit rushed. I did notice that some of the
Hmm.
stuff that when I was reading in the manga, I'm not gonna say it was cut out, but it just kind
Hmm.
of said like, "Hey, let's just speed through
Hmm.
all of this." And I'm like, you gotta spend
Yeah.
some time with this, you know.
Yeah.
But they still got the job done. But those are
Right.
the kind of things where I wish it done better for the show because the show is pretty good. I do enjoy the show.
And it.
I like it. I like the author, the creator of what's her name, the girl who's saying Kingdom Hearts 2 or the Kingdom Hearts
Utada.
opening is also doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing it. So like
Okay.
this show has some love. It has some love.
Yeah. I and I know the show hasn't ended yet, but to me, March and Tonari are not good supporting characters. Gugu is superior, and everyone else is just like I don't really care for you as a character. So that's kind of how I
Yeah.
feel about it. So, like to me, I see this 8.54, and I don't understand why. Like to me, it's not a bad show, but to me, it's not an 8.5 great. To me, it's like it's not. I'm not gonna say it's like middle of the road, like 5 out of 10, but I would give this show like a 7 to be honest. I think this show's a solid 7, and keep it pushing. Maybe 7.5 on a good day, based on what
I
we've
give it an
seen.
8.
May, we do have 2 episodes left, but for right now, for me, it's a 7.
I give it an 8, but yeah, that's our thought. That's our thoughts on To Your Eternity. Um, yeah, let us know if you like it or if you didn't like it. Hit
Mm-hmm.
us up. Dcentos, where can we find you on?
Oh, thank you,
Go ahead, shout
robot.
out.
You can find me on at Dcentos. That's at DCENTOS underscore. Also on Twitter, TikTok, I guess YouTube and IG, all that. Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, and you can find me, StrawHatYomo on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Yeah,
All right,
so that's our review.
all right.
Hope you guys
We,
enjoyed it.
sir,
Peace.
we are out.